Welcome to Fish Beer Barbecue, where the fish are hot, the beer is cold, and the barbecue is served at food-safe temperatures. All meat served above 140 degrees Fahrenheit. So on Christmas Day, we smoked this IBP Choice brisket that was about 14 pounds before trimming, seasoned with salt and pepper, smoked on the Meadow Creek TS70P smoker. The TS stands for tank smoker. 70 indicates that the smoker has a volume of 70 gallons. I don't know what the P stands for. I'd love to know, so let me know in the comments if you know. Meadow Creek, the official smoker of Fish Beer Barbecue. So using mostly black cherry wood here, Prunus serratina. The wood has a really beautiful color, but as you may be able to tell, it's not ideally seasoned, a little on the wet side, but it didn't seem to affect the cook at all. No off-putting smoke flavors, able to hold temp pretty well throughout. Average 230 or 240, I'd say. Just a little more futzing with the wood than I'd prefer. My wife and I purchased a firewood cutting permit from the Allegheny National Forest this year, located in northwestern, north central PA. The Allegheny National Forest region is famous for growing the biggest and straightest black cherry trees in the world. There's some amazing old growth black cherry trees down there, like the picture I just showed. Black cherry is an awesome firewood. It's not as energy dense as oak or hickory, but it does pretty good. It makes a lot of small, tight coals and has a distinctive, pleasant aroma. When it's burned, it's hard to describe. It's mild, but very distinctive, very pleasant when used as a firewood. Didn't pick any of that up in the brisket or wings, though, I have to say. And here is a shot of my brother drinking some Southern Tier Extra Mile, a new Q1 seasonal hitting shelves next week. Dry hopped with about 3 pounds per barrel of Centennial, so that little Fruit Loop flavor really jumps out.
Charlie, get out of there.
It's 5.5% ABV, medium bodied, really nice hoppy beer.
Dude, get out of my face. Out of my face.
We also opened a bottle of Eve's Cider, not sure of the name. It was a blend of Virginia crab and St. Edmunds russet apples, fermented with wild yeast in neutral barrels. Eve's is an awesome and really interesting orchard-based traditional cidery located about 3 hours east of us in the Finger Lakes. This particular cider was still very dry, quite aromatic, and what I would call a medium level. It had a medium level of tannic astringency, though Eve's ciders are the only ciders that I've ever had that have any sort of legitimate tannin component, so I'm not really an expert. And also, Eve's Cidery is the official cidery of Fish Beer Barbecue. We also drank some Southern Tier Lakeshore Fog IPA while we were smoking. It's a hazy, juicy IPA, dry hopped really heavily with Mosaic and Citra. It's in my top 3 favorite Southern Tier beers of all time for sure. And something else is for sure, and that's Southern Tier Brewing Company, the official brewery of Fish Beer Barbecue. Okay, getting ready to pull the brisket here after almost 10 hours on the smoker. Definitely nice and jiggly in these shots. Internal temp of the point got to 206 or 207, which is why I think the flat turned out as dry as it did, but we'll get to that in a minute. It was on the grill for about 6 hours and 20 minutes before it hit 170, at which point I wrapped it in foil and kept it wrapped until it hit 205, about another 3.5 hours, as you can see here. Then I wrapped it in parchment paper and let it cool to the mid-180s and put it in a cooler to rest for about an hour and a half for a total cook time of about 11.5 hours. I'd give this brisket a C because the flat was pretty dry, as you can see here. I probably should have wrapped it sooner and probably should have pulled it off sooner. The flat was certainly still edible. It really tasted great, actually. but definitely drier than I'd like it, and drier than it should be. The point was great. The fat rendered great. Pretty juicy. I'm definitely interested in help on how to do this better. The last brisket I cooked was a Black Angus prime brisket, and the flat was a lot juicier, but it still wasn't super juicy. So any words of advice you have for me are greatly appreciated. Please leave them in the comments.